particular concept, remember now the Hebrews didn't even have it, like Diop said, until 100 years before so-called Christian era. And they borrowed all that from the Egyptian Book of Gates, which that concept is not even talking about some place up under the earth. It's talking about conditions of the soul and of the mental process and an initiation process of the soul, the thought process, and how you illuminate from one level to the other. But we got this hell concept, and we got grown people now that all they had to do to neutralize the fear was learn more about it. Now give me an example, because I'm still address this. With me, when I started doing the research, I did something that I noticed it never dawned on a lot of black people to do. We have been driven by fear of going to hell, and the devil is our enemy. Mm-hmm. Although we know that this mythological character don't exist, but yet we have taken all that is going wrong with us and put it on something that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. Because some doctrine or some fool told us that that's the person behind all that goes wrong in your life is Satan.
Right.
So we grew up this particular way. It never dawned on millions of black people, well, why don't you just study Satan? Mm-hmm. Have an extensive study into Satan and into hell. Mm-hmm. And had they gone there, they could have neutralized the situation to find out it's something totally different than a boogeyman concept that they learned as a child. Mm-hmm. That they learned as a child. So in this particular concept, and studying these concepts, you get hell, you get the word shell or sheol. Now in Hebrew, let's take the Hebrew version, because that's the version in which the Christian version is made up out of. You get the word hell, you get a word sheol in Kabbalah, and even in the book of Ethiopian book of Enoch. And in deeper Kabbalah, a Kabbalistic text, you get the word shell, the husk, the shell called kalipoth, or husk, or shell. When you study the esoteric meaning of that, the word, the kalipoth, the husk, the shell, and you get the word hell, the shell means the physical body that houses the soul. The soul is trapped in a physical body and in a dream state of an illusion. So, in the Hebrew aspect, the physical body is hell. Mm-hmm. So we live in hell because our soul lives into the physical body. Mm-hmm. Now, if you take the Gnostic, which is pre-Christianity, here it is, the Christians talking about pre-Christianity. Well, that's a contradiction. I thought this only existed when Jesus came. So now you're telling me there was a Christianity that existed before Jesus. That's a contradiction. Well, let's take the Gnostic, which is pre-Christianity, which is actually later-day Egyptian, ancient Egyptian. Mm-hmm. And they talk about hail, and they said, and Hylix. They said that Hylix is the people that live in Hyle. And Hylix means physical person, and Hyle means physical earth. Mm-hmm. So you already in hell based on Hebrew and based on pre-Christianity. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Based on pre-Christianity.
Right.
You go to the Greek thing, you get Hades, you get Tartarus. You see what I'm saying? And Tartarus is supposed to be the deepest part of hell, but when you deal with it on a physiological root, Tartarus is the lower gastrointestinal tract. It's still inside of the body. So these are greater concepts that explain states of condition on a spiritual level and a physiological level. And yet, you can get millions of black people and millions of white folks is trapped in this thing just on the basis of ignorance.
Die for knowledge.